Hi guys, and welcome back to Journey2Med. If you are new here, my name is Hazal and I'm a first year medic studying at Barton in London. And if you are not new here, thank you so much for tuning in to another video. As you can see from the thumbnail and the title, this video is all about the decision making section of the UCAT exam. Decision making is a bit of a weird section, so it's really important that you get a lot of practice with it. This section isn't really like the other sections because there isn't really one overarching theme across all the questions. However, with a lot of practice, you can definitely get good at this section, so continue watching to find out how. It's really important that you understand the different types of questions you can get in the decision making section and make sure you prepare adequately for each one. There are 4 types of decision making questions. The first type is deductive reasoning, and this is when you'll be provided with an opening statement and you'll have to decide which of the following conclusion statements you are provided with follows. The second one is evaluating arguments, and this is when after reading the question and any text with it, you'll be provided with a choice of arguments. You'll then have to choose which is the best argument. Thirdly, we have statistical reasoning, and this is when you need to be able to make conclusions based on data such as numbers and graphs provided to you. And finally, we have figural reasoning, and this is when in these items you have to make conclusions based on sequences given to you. Make sure you understand each of these 4 types of questions and prepare for them to make sure you get the best outcome in the decision making section of the UCAT. You might find the whiteboard useless, but it is definitely your best friend, especially in the decision making section. Sometimes the information you are given in the text is really hard to get your head around, so what I really like to do was use the whiteboard to summarize the information I am given in the form of a small diagram. And this really helped me understand what was actually going on in the question, so then I could answer the questions properly. But be careful, you don't want to spend too much time actually trying to understand the piece of text that you don't have enough time to answer the questions, and this will only get better with more practice. Like many of the other sections in the UCAT, in the decision making section there will be some questions that are really long with lots of data, and other ones will be quite shorter which are easier to get your head around. So it's important that you pick the right battles. Don't spend 5 minutes trying to understand that one long question when in that time you can answer 3 short questions. So if you see a question that you think is going to be really difficult to understand, try for a few seconds to understand what is going on and try to answer the questions. But if you can't, it is okay to guess, flag and skip. I'm sure you've heard me say this before, but honestly it's not worth spending so much time on a specific question if you can get that 1 mark that you'll get from that question in another question that is shorter and easier to understand. You have 31 minutes to understand 29 questions, and this is actually better than the other sections, but it is still not a lot of time. So like I always say, if a question is taking up too much of your time and you feel like you won't be able to answer it, make an educated guess on the answer, flag the question and skip the question. On screen I'm going to put some keyboard shortcuts that I recommend you guys learn. For example, it shows you how to flag a question quickly and also go to the next question quickly, and this will help you save some more time in the exam. This also applies to the verbal reasoning section, but please do not use any outside information when trying to answer these questions. Some of the information you are given in the questions may go against what you think or what you believe, but that does not matter. Simply use what you are given in the passage. Don't use your own personal bias to answer the question. Don't presume anything, don't make any assumptions. Simply use what's in the question, and you'll get better at this the more practice you do. And finally, make sure you practice, but practice on the timed conditions. Some of these decision making questions you could probably do if you had 5 minutes just to answer that one question, but that is not the case in the exam. You have to work on the really strict time constraints, so make sure that you practice that at home so you can replicate the exam conditions, and when you get into the actual exam you'll be used to working under the same pressure. The more you practice on the timed condition, the more you'll understand how quickly or how slowly you need to work to get all the questions done in the given time. And this will also help you get better at things like speed reading and also mental maths, because you know you don't have enough time, so you have to work quickly. That is about it, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed this video on the decision making section of the UCAT and that you find these tips helpful. Please make sure you apply these tips to your work and to your revision for the UCAT, and I'm hoping that it will genuinely improve your score. If you didn't know already, this video is part of a 5-part series on the different 5 sections of the UCAT exam, so make sure you also check out the other videos to improve your other sections. As always, if you do have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and also follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And I'll see you guys in a new video next time. Bye!